Aloha, or liquid aloha, I should say. We got the liquid aloha flying here at the Mewhirter household, and we are brought to you by our favorite volleyball, Wilson, which we're really excited to finally play with. But more importantly, we're here today with the one and only Hall of Famer, Sean Rosenthal. What's up, Rosie?
What up, guys?
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Boys?
Cheers.
Good to have you back.
Kona Brew. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Gold Cliff IPA we're going with here today.
But what do we got?
Oh man, dude, we just been rolling with this podcast every Wednesday, and you were texting me this morning about jumping on your 6-man team, trying to recruit me back to the 6-man.
Sorry, Team Simsies over there. Just trying to make some.
Hey, listen, I haven't heard from them lately. I'm not totally married. I'm not totally married to the group. I got them 2 championships and haven't gotten many free burgers out of it, so I might be available. But yeah, you were texting me this morning. We were trying to figure out a guest, and we were like, we should talk about Olympics.
Get Rose.
I was like, I'm texting with Sean Rosenthal right now.
Yeah.
Why not?
It is about that time. Yeah, no, it worked out perfect. I was on a boat today, man. Just probably had a few more of these.
Yeah.
Kona Brews out there. It was good times, and so yeah, man. I had a couple good Olympic runs, and what we saw this year with with what Kelly and Sarah did to come through in the last couple tournaments and overtake, I'm sure,
dude,
both of their idols.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't talked to them, but it's just a big thing. It's a big thing for them. It was a big thing for women's beach volleyball, and you guys had an epic battle as well. And
yeah.
So yeah, it's just that time of year where it's
it's
right
like,
there, Olympic time.
Olympic time.
Hey,
Finally.
Maybe it'll make volleyball boost up a little bit.
We've been saying that since '96.
We got about a month.
So.
We got about a month left for that to happen.
We're gonna spike any minute.
It could be during this podcast. Oh.
But how was it being kind of an observer of the Olympic race as opposed to, because like when you're right in it, like Tri was, like it's a stressful couple years. And then, I mean, how was it just kind of like observing it, watching it, and just sort of being around it as opposed to like going?
For me, this year, obviously it was different. I went in 08 and 12. So 16, I didn't make it, where Phil and I in 13 and 14 were the best team of the year.
Yeah.
15 Olympic qualifying starts. He gets injured at the beginning of the year. So we missed like 4 Grand Slams. There's before the 1 5-star stuff, or 1 through 4-star stuff now, and we missed some of those plus World Championships. So like it was like a big hole we put ourselves in, and then so we had Jake and Casey at this point, and then Nick and Theo were right here, and then the 3rd place team is down here. So when Phil comes back healthy, talks to Nick, they're great friends they broke onto the tour together, they did their thing together. It's kind of maybe at the time possibly their chance to get to the Olympics, and now Phil's gap's half the size as what it would have been if he stayed with me to catch up to them. So it's hard in my spot where I was to lose Phil, who's arguably the best player of all time. But it was kind of one of those, so that one was tough for me to kind of like follow and watch a little bit.
Right. Because you were kind of a part of it, and you were out there on the road.
Yeah, I mean, we're the best team in the world for 2 years, and we would have been the best team, I think, in the world again for the next year, maybe 2.
Right.
So it was, kind of a dagger there. So that one was a lot tougher to watch. And,
for sure.
But this one, coming up and watching, I was obviously rooting for Tri and Trevor. Like, one of those guys to do something. Jake is probably my best friend of beach volleyball. Like, love the guy as a person, player, competitor, father, friend, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So those are my teams I wanted to go. Not because Phil dumped me. I almost actually think maybe Phil still probably has the best chance at a gold medal for the men. I'm hoping somebody can get into those medal rounds.
It's so hard to rule him out ever.
You can't rule him out. He's that good.
Yeah.
But so this year was definitely different.
Yeah.
Sit back and watch it. hang out with these guys a little bit, throw a couple 2 cents in here and there for them during their run, and it was good. They made a run out of it and made it to the last tournament, man.
We had a little barbecue one night and had Rosie come over and just kind of give us his 2 cents.
Yeah. Which
was super valuable. It was mostly just about like enjoying the journey, and like you're supposed to enjoy this. Like you work hard to get to that point of competing in you know, that pressure situation and whatnot. But like you can just blow through it like with your head down if you don't like take a second to enjoy it and be loose and take chances.
Yeah. And just from the outside looking in at that point, like they had just lost a country quota match to go to Doha at the start of the year, and you know, Theo and Cam are a great team, and so you play them in a one-match thing in a windy court on super hard surface.
Right.
It's anybody's game. It's like a different game down there.
Yeah.
It's one game, and they lose that game, and then Phil and Nick and Jake and Taylor go and get I think they both
third and fourth. Yeah.
So third and fourth place. That was like a big little thing.
Yeah.
Big dagger. So, you know, after that, I almost saw it in like practices and some other stuff, because I was down at the beach trying to rehab every day, and I'm watching these guys, and I could see it a little bit, that they kind of like looked like it was bothering them, and then they were both, you know, Trevor came to me and said something about Tri signing out, and Tri came to me and said something about Trevor setting. Like, guys, why are we coming to me? Like, we got to come together.
Therapist Rosie.
Like, you guys have been friends since you were fucking yay big. So like, let's get out there and talk it together. And then, like, that's kind of what it was about. It was just enjoying the process, being like, how many times are you going to get a chance to attempt to go to the Olympics, have a realistic chance with one of your childhood friends? May not ever happen again.
Right.
I mean, you know, hopefully with you and how many Hawaiians there are out there right now, with the young crew of guys you got, I mean, it could definitely happen again. But it's just something that gets overlooked a little bit, of enjoying the process instead of letting everything just weigh you down a little bit. Whatever. So.
Is that when you were making your runs in 08 and in 2012? And I mean, you mentioned how close you and Jake are, and I know you guys loved Mike Dodd, who was coaching you guys. Did you take time to kind of enjoy the process, or is that something that you look back in retrospect as something that maybe you wished you would have done a little bit more?
I think we enjoyed it. Well, okay, it's probably a little bit different, because both times I was in the mix of it, I did make it. So there is a different side of things where Tri's on that losing end, or in 12 it was Furbringer and Nick Lucena, who were like right on our tail that were battling. So I mean, it could be a little different story for them. But like, even throughout the process, a little bit of what I noticed with where Matt and Nick were and where we were, like, and I don't even know if they would even realize this or not, but like, just sitting at lunch or sitting at dinner at these tables in Switzerland or in wherever we were, you could almost feel somewhat of an awkwardness where I didn't want that. Like, I would grab my plate and I would go sit at their table or something. But like, you kind of always almost felt something a little bit, but like, I don't know. For some reason, for me, it was just, let's just all
leave it on the court.
I want to like watch you do well.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go to the Olympics because you don't do well. I want to go to the Olympics because I earned it, and we battled. We had a good battle, and you played it. Like, in 2012, I think Phil and Nick were 1 or 2. We were like 3 or 4, and then Matt and Nick were like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, it was like that. Like, we were 3 of the top 6 teams in the world, and it was like, you know, it sucks that more teams from certain countries can't go at those times. But you know, it is what it is, and everybody knows it. And it was just I don't know. It was a fun battle. 08 was a little bit different, just for the fact that Lambert and Stein were really like our close battle through 07, because we have a 1.5 year process, right? Like 07, half of 08. We were really close. I think they're up on us a little bit. Lambert had a little scope on his knee.
Yeah. I
think he came back a little bit earlier at that time we had AVP Hot Winter Nights, when we had more than 3 tournaments a year. And I think he did something to his knee where he had to go back in, and he never like came back onto the world tour. So now all of a sudden our lead just like jumped way up. So 08 was kind of almost like
Interesting.
Not a breeze, but definitely like just
A little more stress-free.
relief. Yeah.
stress-free
Yeah.
relief. Just play your game, have fun. We were both young and we were still doing well and enjoying it, but a little different process from 08 to 12 and then 16. So I guess I had all three sides of it. 16's a little bit.
Right.
I felt like we were the best team, and then
It got harder every year for you.
And then after
Seems
that,
like-
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, I had,
Every quad it got harder, you know.
Yeah.
Breeze, and then to the last
Real tight.
tournament or two,
Yeah.
and then
And then
craziness of
Yeah.
getting up
partner.
early, and then not even thinking, "Are you gonna
Drop,
run this
yeah.
year?" No,
I remember
I'm gonna enjoy this time.
that was such a shocker that I remember where I was when I heard the news of the breakup. I was just like, wait, what? How much time is left? Did they just give us the spot? Because they didn't have much time.
Right there.
Yeah, me and Hayden were top 16. So we're like, I mean, they only have like 10, like
They didn't
12.
have
They only had
many-
like 12, 14 events
They didn't have
possible.
many mishaps.
Right.
You cannot like have a couple faulty tournaments.
Couldn't
Yeah.
have taken a 25th.
But then again, like
But then they just started winning. They ended up with a pretty fairly high seed.
so
right?
if Phil had stayed with me at the time, we'd have been the same difference because we only had that 125th from Russia,
Right, yeah.
very first one. But we would have had to catch this. I mean, you guys were here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys could all see that, but they're like, I don't even know the points. Half the point difference, or not even that much. I mean, less than that. But
Let's be honest, we were chasing Jake and Casey the whole time. Anyway.
that's who.
The 2 years before, ever since I had been on tour, because I came in Rosie Phil era,
Yeah.
not Raji Phil, and you guys had been the top 2 in the world. Like for my first 2 years on
Yeah.
world tour, we weren't like really worried about you guys, but only because you were so far ahead. Normally,
Yeah.
we were trying to chase Jake and Casey. That's why it was such a big shock. I was like, wait, what? What's
Yeah.
going on here?
And they had a fantastic quad. I mean, Jake and Casey they were winning everything. They were winning like most of the AVPs, and they started out.
They were
with a
winning
huge win
AVPs
right off the bat.
but internationally, they weren't.
Internationally, I think they only won 1 or 2 during
And that was like their
Phil and I's
second
2
event.
years.
Yeah,
They won.
their second
They
event.
won a Shanghai tournament in 2013, right after Phil and I had won Fuzhou, the first one.
Yeah,
And then I think they maybe
that was
won one
before.
more, and
That
they
was
maybe
the
got
year
on the podium.
before I was on tour,
Yeah.
on the world tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
And
think they did that.
But
crazy
2014, you guys came out and won Berlin.
Yeah, not a qualifier.
Oh, what? Oh no,
It
it
wasn't.
was not Olympic qualifier. No.
Well, I wasn't.
But it was to
We
get you
weren't
in
going
the
for
right
the
spot.
Olympics.
Yeah. it
But
was-
then, like, it moved us into the top main draw, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, Olympics starts next year, and we're top whatever in the world. I guess we're going for the Olympics.
Phil and I sat down 17th in that one, and then the next tournament was Norway,
Yeah.
and we won Norway, and then it was like those 3 tournaments, 4 tournament.
Those were a
run
good
where it
2
was like-
weeks, man. Because we got 5th in Norway, and that was Grand Slam
Yeah.
days. So I pulled in 28 Gs for Berlin. And this is me being a cheap at. Like, I went overseas and played for months and months for, 15, 20 grand.
Right.
And I made 28 grand, and then went to Norway and made, what was the 5th? 8,500.
This
And
is,
then I
this
won-
is solo, right? This
Not-
is solo. This
By
isn't split.
just me.
Okay,
And then
So,
the
yeah.
next week,
This is how money used to be. Like,
and
pretty
then
darn good.
the following week, I
That's
won
the
my first
million
AVP.
Oh, thank you for
Against
bringing
you.
that up. Milwaukee, Bradley Beach.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
beat you earlier in the day.
Yes, it's true. It's true. But that
You
was
saved
like
it all for the
insane
final.
week for me. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
the world tour or this tour is freaking great.
Yeah.
Now you can't make as much as I made in those 3 weeks in a whole season.
Yeah.
I had a
Prize
4 week.
money.
Yeah, I had a
Barely.
4 week run in that 2014 year where we had
my
those $2
God.
million tournaments, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
So
And you
500
picked
per
up Red
gender.
Bull.
And we went first in Norway, first in Switzerland, second in Netherlands, which was the $1 million one, and then first in Long Beach, which was the $1 million one. So
Oh,
first,
God.
first.
What was the prize for first in the million?
I think it was 75 to split.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It's a good
so
weekend.
75 to split, it was like
And then your sponsor
60 something
bonuses.
for second, and then the other wins were almost 25 or 26. So I was like,
It's not even the olden
Yeah.
days. That's
Full
during
tournaments.
my era.
Yeah.
Like, it was so recent.
Not
Like, we all talk about
Not that
like
long ago.
early 2000s and 90s as the heyday, but that was pretty good.
I would say the heyday was probably got to be in the 90s when it was like
Yeah, Miller Lite Tour.
the Miller Lite Tour. I mean, they had like
Cuervo.
also they had 28 tournaments
Yeah.
during that time. So like the most I had AVP wise was 17 or 18. I think that
It
was
was like
in
mid 2000s.
07,
Yeah.
08, right around there. But then we also had something on the World Tour. So it was only Opens and Grand Slams then.
Right.
But you had to play, I think it was 8 events.
Okay.
Maybe it was 6. You had to play at least that to get your
Bonus pool or
bonus
whatever?
pool. Thank you. Yes, bonus pool. So you only got half your money at the time that you earned it.
Huh.
And they cut the other half in a bonus pool. And if you didn't play enough events to sort of prove loyal to the
Right.
FIVB kind of
Huh.
thing, you know what I mean? Like,
I didn't know that.
then at the end of the year, come like November, you get another check for half your
Huh.
earnings.
I had
on
no
that tour,
idea.
Which was great. Cause
What an
that
interesting
was right-
idea.
Bonus.
That was coming up close to like tax time too. You're not making money for a couple months. You're figuring out taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Here's another $25,000 check.
What an
Yeah.
interesting
Or whatever
incentive
it was, or
to
50.
keep players playing on the tour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a great
Smart.
thing.
Yeah. And 8 events, like,
You can't
that's
do
not too
that
much to
now.
ask. Yeah.
You
With
can't
3
do that
events?
now, maybe. Yeah. Even FIVB, you can't really do it because if you're a guy trying to play. Okay, they built this star system, I think, to help build these other countries that are trying to learn, or other just helping people like
Right. Spread the
start
sport.
and get on the
Yeah.
world tour, spread the sport a little bit. But like now, there's no 5 stars. There's only this many 4 stars. These last 2 years, it's been Olympic years. So you get all these best teams in these 3 and 4 stars.
Yeah.
So now these 3 and 4 star normals are playing 1 and 2 stars and 3 stars just to like
And now
be able to play.
Now the promoters have wisened up, and there's no more 2 stars or 3 stars, because they're like, well, if there's just 1s and 4s, we get all the 2 and 3 talent for the cost of a 1 star.
Right.
And if
and you
there's
get all the 5 stars.
and then there's no
Cost
point in putting on a 5 star if you can get all the talent for the 4 star. So I think the star system
It's kinda
in
go back to
concept
open.
It's
was
done.
overly
It's
idealistic.
done after this year, though.
I think in
I-
concept
is
it was
it?
good.
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
I
They're
hope
going
so.
going to like a 3 tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know
heard about
if
this.
you know
Like,
more
gotta,
about
like,
it.
Kind of
Um,
qualify up to the next tier. and-
Yeah. So it's like a
Perfect. Can't wait to start at the bottom.
top. It's the.
Did I get my points back?
Injury
from
points,
the
Rosie?
Injury points.
I don't know. I think people are
These
using their
man.
points from like 4 years ago
You
at
get
this
injury
point.
points, you
so
can get
Perfect.
COVID points.
If it was 4 years ago, I might.
I'm
be
so confused with the ranking. I look at it. I'm like, okay, I got to be like maybe like 12th right now. I look at him. It's like 20. I'm like,
You just gotta go ask Ed Keller. He'll tell you.
what the hell is going on? Yeah, exactly. We need to have
want
him
to know
on.
anything to do with volleyball, points,
Oh, dude.
tournaments, where they're at, who's playing.
He was the one
What their
telling me
stats are.
what I needed, what we needed to do and pull off. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, cool.
Still, one of our most popular episodes we've done in the past couple of months was Ed Keller.
Really?
With Ed.
Yeah, and people were emailing me and texting me, and they're like, "Who is this
Who
guy?"
is that guy?
Dude,
He
our
needs to
sports
be
should
a
hire
regular.
It's a volleyball encyclopedia.
Yes.
Yep.
What do you need to know? Like, we played a tournament, and I'm guessing the year. Oh, he would tell you in a second
Oh, yeah,
who it
for
was,
sure.
and he would tell you
Scores.
4 to
everything.
6 of our games or whatever, and scores and like.
And what the
Yeah.
weather was like.
And who you played. And,
Oh yeah, who we played to get us AAA. Like,
yeah. He was just telling me
Yeah.
about that the other day.
it was fun.
What do you know?
But can you shed a little more light on the new system
Oh,
that's
the
being
system? Yeah,
proposed?
so it's a-
'Cause I've heard a little bit. I don't really know.
It's a tier system. Basically, there's like what I would call the championship tour, right? And then there's the intermediate level, and then the developmental level, which is kind of what the star system was trying to do, just with 5.
Just too many.
There's too many levels. So it's essentially the same thing. And they haven't announced exactly the ruling on it, but the goal is to make it, I believe, so like the top players don't go down and play intermediate.
right.
Like you just play on your tour, and there's enough events there to have that, going, and like a full-time thing,
Yeah.
If you're up at the top, you'll never play down if
Yeah.
you have the opportunity to play on all the top, because there's gonna be like, I don't know, 10, 15, whatever. The middle round will have the same amount of events, similar amount, but it'll be for the players trying to get up to the top, and
Yeah.
it'll be
There'll
like
also
open
be-
money maybe.
There'll also be no qualification. If you have the points, you're in this one.
I feel like there
Your other
shouldn't be.
points are you're in this one.
Yeah, you're not in the
And then if
qualifier. You're
you're-
in the intermediate tour.
Maybe there's a qualifier for that bottom
Maybe.
tour or
Yeah.
something, and then if you're
That's
a few
what I would think.
tournaments,
Yeah.
a 5 tournament week or whatever it is, and the bottom 3 go down. top
Right,
3
right,
go up
right,
kind of
right.
thing.
Yeah.
Like work its
Yeah,
way
I don't
through.
know how you pass people. I guess it's just straight up on points. Like I guess if you're top, let's say 5 in the intermediate level, you should get more. The points should overlap with the
Right.
bottom
Okay, there you go.
5, right? So that you're able to pass teams.
So then you can get I love how the English Premier League does it,
Yeah.
where if you finish
You're
in the
relegated?
bottom, and you get
I
relegated,
kind of like that.
and then the top teams get promoted. And Cam was telling me that I guess something that was being discussed, or maybe he was just talking about, is like what would be a cool possibility is if like you use the intermediate tournaments. Say if you medal
Mm-hmm.
in the next championship level tournament, you get bumped up. If you barbecued out of the championship level tournament, then you get
Right.
bumped down for the next one.
Problem is if they're scheduled back-to-back
Yeah.
weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the,
So that would be a problem. But I like the concept of being able to get promoted if you do well enough in say 5 events, and you get relegated if you're just like not performing. So you don't
You
have
better
guys
get
like
promoted.
the Grimalds. You know, they haven't won a match in like a year,
right.
but they're still just hanging
Oh
on.
my god.
But they had a couple great, year and a half
Yeah,
previous to this year.
yeah.
Totally.
They started out the Olympic qualifying process.
Yeah,
It was like
they were playing
win in
great.
Sydney, win in Doha, like 3rd, 5th, 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 5th,
And then they
and
didn't
then
win
they
a
just
match.
just
Yeah.
dropped. And I don't really know what happened. I haven't watched him play. There hasn't been many opportunities to watch him play.
Yeah.
But when I watched him in Doha, I was like, who can beat these guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
It's kind of like watching Verenhorst and Vanderbilt right now. Like, how do you stop them?
Steven Vanderbilt.
Dude.
He was just a young guy just about starting. He played his first tournament in, I believe, in 2014. He had a wild card with Reindeer Numador, who's
Okay.
now either the
Yeah.
coach or he's something.
Coach,
to do with
yeah.
them.
Coach now.
One of my great friends from Netherlands, like Numador and Richard Schiel.
Mm-hmm.
That was 2 of my favorite Dutch guys
Yeah.
of all time. So Steven Vanderbilt just had started playing. He ended up playing a tournament in Netherlands with Reindeer Numador
Yeah.
and played Phil and I first round. They got the wild card in and
Yeah.
played in the first round. And they're, home country. Steven's 18, flying around. He's already 6'8" or whatever
Yeah.
he is.
Huge.
And now he's the defender.
Yeah.
Playing with
And a good one.
Verenhorst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's crazy where that tour is going. Especially,
Yeah.
Dude, when we played
Netherlands,
them,
as we know, is
Netherlands
a big
is
country.
deep now.
totally.
They're
Oh,
good.
we got to bring up that game you played. Was that the game?
Yeah.
Andre George was the game.
Andrew
Oh,
George was
oh.
the game. They were the
Vanderbilt
game
was
in
in
Sochi.
Sochi?
They eliminated us
Oh,
in
that's
Sochi.
right. The one before
But,
that
like,
was to go to the
I
semis.
was getting my
Yeah.
hands on a few of them early, and it was blowing up my fingers and going through. I was like, what the fuck? And then
on Steven.
on
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, and then it was he just started hitting every corner, every high, hard, extremely hard. I was like, all right, he's kind of feeling it.
Yeah.
Were you
if
going
I-
out
if
most
I
of the time, or are you guys splitting?
I was going up
I was
most
watching,
of the time.
but I can't
If I funnel at Trevor, he's sitting back there. I
getting
mean,
blown up.
I think
He's
at some
getting
point,
blown up.
he's hitting hard enough where I don't know if people are digging him. I didn't see
Right,
many
exactly.
people dig Vanderbilt.
that's why. And
He
I
could
was
hit
trying
right at
to
someone.
kind of ball up on it, but
Yeah.
he was hitting so high and hard that everything I get my hands on, it was blowing up my fingers.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll seal. And then if he hits it, he's just bouncing him on Trevor.
Yeah.
I was
Do you think he felt more of you or more of the defender? See the
Right.
defender, I'm gonna hit angle, or do you feel more of you?
No, I think he was playing me probably more.
Yeah.
But he got up. He was getting up really high and hitting really hard. So when they're getting up higher, your fan is so big, and if you're balling up, you can't reach on stuff as much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of reaching on him
Reach
and
a
getting
little bit, and then
fingers,
it's just
and I
off
was
the
like,
top.
yeah. And then it's okay, we don't want a guy to hit as hard. Let's serve Verenhorst.
Yeah.
This guy's hitting too high and hard.
Hey, this 6'8" guy is too high. Let's go to the 7-footer.
7-footer.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it was kind of
Yeah.
that kind of match. But yeah, no, when they're on, they're nasty for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know. Well, I think he probably swung himself into a shoulder injury because he had to pull out of the Continental Cup.
Oh, did he?
which that European Continental Cup was wild.
What happened?
Switzerland won, right?
Switzerland won. So they brought in, it was held in The Hague. So the Netherlands had home court advantage. The girls, Schoen and Stam, who are my Olympic dark horses, they've been in the qualifier for the last 6 tournaments and taken 5th, 9th. They're the ones who knocked Brooke and Carey out of Ostrava and sealed their Olympic fate. But they won for the women. And then, so the finals were Switzerland versus the Netherlands. And poor Smoilovs and Smedens. So the Continental Cup is 2 teams from each country for the listeners. And you're playing, so if me and Tri are one country and Rosie and Furbringer are another country, and me and Tri win one, Rosie and Furby win the next, then it goes to a golden match. And so whoever wins that, the country moves on. So Smoilovs and Smedens were without the help of Plavins and Tox because they'd already qualified for the Olympics. So they'd win. Whoever their second team was, maybe Regza, they would lose. So Smoilovs and Smedens would have to win 2 matches basically every time just to advance.
Oh, geez.
They lost 17-15 in the third in the semis.
To who?
To the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
To Varenhorst and Ruben Peninga was filling in for Steven Vanderbilt. And Peninga was just balling out. And they played Gerson and Heidrich in the golden match for an Olympic spot.
Peninga was trying to qualify the spot for the Netherlands for...
Which probably would have
Varenhorst?
gone to Varenhorst and Vanderbilt.
Whoa.
Which is such a trippy concept.
Do they play a game for that spot?
Well, every federation is different.
They have their own.
So Switzerland, I was talking to Marco Kradiger about this. So Marco Kradiger and Florian Brier balled out through the whole Continental Cup and helped Gerson and Heidrich earn an Olympic bid, but they just give it to the team with the highest points. So it just Kradiger and Brier did all this work to get someone else into the Olympics, which is cool because they're your boys, but at the same time you're oh. And he
Are
and
they?
They
had their chance.
They don't have a country quota to deal with, so they're boys.
Exactly.
They did.
Well, they had a 2.5-year run for that,
Right.
Right, exactly.
Or a quad.
They had their shot.
Yeah.
Actually, a
3.5-year run. Yeah.
Over to 5.
5-year quad. What do you call it? What do you call that?
But Canada would then if they would have qualified, which they lost in so Norseka doesn't do a golden match, it does a golden set. 1 set to 15.
Golden set.
Golden
oh my
set.
God.
So Canada was in the finals against Mexico, and Pedlo and Schachter lost pretty bad to Rubio and Gaschiola, the new Mexican ones team, and so they put Ben.
Who were seated? I think they're still seated higher than us in the World Tour. I haven't even seen them all year.
Rubio and
Yeah.
Well, I think they were probably in Cancun.
So they had Ben.
I don't even remember.
So they had Ben and Grant O'Gorman. They beat Virgin and Ontiveros, and then they played 1 set to 15. An Olympic bid on the line.
1 set.
After a 5-year quad.
And you could pick either of these 2 teams. And
Or
the coach has to choose.
Or you could mismatch the teams. You could have put Ben with Sam Schachter if you wanted. It's insane. Switzerland did that.
Wait, what happened here?
No way.
I didn't even know about it.
Mexico won.
You play 1 set to 15. It's shitting rain the whole day. Terrible conditions.
Where is this out at?
In Colima City, Mexico. And Mexican fans are
Mexico.
packed stands, full house, going crazy.
You been to a soccer match down there?
Oh yeah, I have.
Have
you been there?
Yeah.
And so Canada went up 4-1 in the third. Well, in the third, the golden set to 15, and Rubio and Gaschiola came back and won 15-13.
So who's got the bid?
Mexico.
But then Mexico,
Which
those 2
Gaschiola.
teams played each other.
And so
I saw something on the
And
Which
that's what
Mexican
social
team
media.
got the bid?
I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
You got to sing
Rosie said they did
Gaxiola
it.
at this point.
I saw Mexico play Mexico, and Mexico won 15-12 and 13. But I feel like it was the younger team, not Juan Huberez, who was playing more when I was playing.
Yeah.
So the younger team.
Rubio,
I don't know what.
Rubio and Gaschiola are far the better team right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Virgin and Ontiveros, they looked awful.
Right.
Okay.
Ben and Grant. So they should go, I think. And they made the finals in Doha.
They won that set in 2.
Okay.
Against the other Mexico team. I don't even know if that's what that was. I saw them playing against each other in the pouring rain. So maybe they did it after.
Okay. Which is just so crazy that you battle with your guys to get this Olympic spot, and you're all right, we were best friends, and now I gotta beat you.
Now it's game time.
It's so nuts.
Let's go.
Dude, that's some pressure.
Yeah. So the Continental Cup system.
It's such a shit show, this whole thing. Because
So
every
weird.
country's qualifying in a different way. The qualification system that you're competing in, the World Tour, has different regulations for different teams. For example, if you're from the same country, you don't get to go if you qualify because other people from your country qualified. Or like, it's just, there's so many different. We're not even competing against each other. We're competing against this system and seeing if we can plug ourselves into one of the loopholes.
Yeah.
Well, like the 08 and 12, and I even want to say 16, they tried to bring it up, but USA Volleyball always like was almost forcing it. Like that year when Olympic qualifying started, it wasn't the 2 years prior to that when the quad is starting.
Yeah.
Olympic qualifying starting, and the guys for those 2 years who were out there busting their butt to keep their points up, go from an AVP straight over to an FIVB, coming back here, going back over there for 3 weeks and coming home after 6 weeks or whatever, to keep their points up, to have their spot. And then USA Volleyball was trying to say, no, we're going to have a one tournament thing, and all those players over there, we're working our ass off for these spots.
Right.
And they get a shot for it.
We're like, fuck no, dude.
And I've seen like,
we earned this spot.
it's insane.
Get in the spot.
I've
Like, it's
seen
hard to
a lot of people,
fathom that.
You better, if
people
you're gonna
pushing for an Olympic trial.
Right.
I'm like, that is batshit insane to do one tournament.
You can have one tournament where like
crazy.
you and I could go in there and just have a great day and win this tournament. And like, well, for some people who don't go overseas, or maybe have played one or two, you don't know how good those teams are, for one.
Or can you play with the ball? Can you
Can you
travel
play with
and
that
play?
ball?
Can you play with
Travel.
the ball? Can you understand that style of play?
Exactly.
We have
Going to
plenty of
different
players
countries.
that are great on the AVP that have never even sniffed the main draw.
Right.
FIVB.
Exactly. When I didn't even think about FIVB. It was never even crossed my mind, and I'd already won a couple AVP events.
Right.
And it still had never even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Jake asked me to play in 2000, at the end of 2005, and that's the first time international like even crossed my mind, and I'd already won a couple tournaments on the
Interesting.
AVP.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to sit here, you got to pay your dues over here, which is hard to say now because you don't have anything to pay with. But like, you got to like, I feel like if you want to play and represent your country over there in the world, it's a little bit different now with the 1 stars and all this stuff, and maybe even this new system. But like, it wasn't that easy to get over there before.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to do well here, beat your own country here, and be a top 5 team, and then work your way over there. You know what I mean? It was like, I feel like it's definitely not this. I don't want this to get taken the wrong way, but like, participation trophies and stuff like that. Like, people are just like giving out trophies to like, it was earned to get over there.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's a big thing to go over there and play with that your country on your chest and in those big tournaments, and it's tough stuff, man. Those guys are the real deal. That's the best in the world. Our top 5 teams, always, from back in the day through my time into your time, we're struggling to get 3 teams in the top 10 on the world tour, and we sit out here on the AVP and do really well. You guys, Phil, Jake, are in the semifinals darn near every week. So on the world tour, you're fighting to get top 10s.
Yeah, totally.
On a somewhat consistent basis.
Yeah.
It's a real deal tour over there, and it's not something that's just like, oh, I just made it on tour, I think I should go over there and play for the country.
No, yeah. I mean,
work your way here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
the pressure, the time commitment, the playing style, the level of play, everything's just so different. So it wouldn't really make sense to do the trials any other way than just proving yourself on that specific tour.
On that tour.
But
Against those
the
teams.
crazy thing is that like there's some potential incentive to finally build this domestic tour back up by using this trial system and not letting FIVB dictate what we do as players for half the quad every year, by taking the power away from the FIVB with that Olympic trials. And that's kind of the question, is would it be worth it? Like, everybody knows the system. You go earn it on FIVB, that's exactly what makes sense. But is it worth the sacrifice to maybe get this sport to where it needs to be domestically, which I think I'm open to having the conversation now. But I think it would need to be like set in stone at the beginning of the whole quad, so everyone can pick how they go about their lives. You can't do it later. You can't have teams go put in the work and then at the end be like, okay, anyone's shot.
One turn.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of way of you participating in a certain amount of events.
Right.
Having a certain amount of finishes, or it's hard to even do points or even money because all that stuff changes all the time, but like a certain amount of finishes in certain events, and those teams that hit those qualifiers or whatever, like those
benchmarks or whatever,
exactly. They maybe have a shot at this, because trials would be like a cool thing.
Yeah.
It was just last week that you're watching the track and field and the swimming, these like, you know, Olympic qualifications where it's a big deal, and that
And
could
I
be
think our
really
sport
well
would get
for
even
our
bigger.
It would, it would help, I think, the sport, but it's like,
what do we sacrifice to get that right?
I'm not gonna get over there and earn my spot and give it up to USA Volleyball to like hand out to somebody else.
Right.
Like, wait a minute.
What was the system that was proposed? So like these teams at the bottom would have to play each other to get up to you.
For
like I don't know. There was like some system.
It must be like 9 and 10 play each other, and the winner of that plays 8. The winner of that 8 versus 9 or 10.
Right.
So
So like for the 10 to win it, they would have to win like all the way.
Games.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, now you still have the chance for those top 2 teams who should be going.
right.
Well, they had a trials in '96
Yeah,
in the very first
And someone-
Olympics.
and I think
Stoklos sprained his ankle
Stoklos is
in
the
one.
only example you need of why it's a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were in the semis, like him and Adam Johnson were just
But how did
smashing
the
everyone.
But the
in the
U.S.
world.
got
Well,
gold
maybe
and
the
silver in the Olympics.
Well,
so
we
Yeah.
did send 3 teams, so maybe.
And
We
we
did.
sent 3.
'Cause
I don't
it's-
consider
we
it
got a
13,
fifth.
though.
Because
They got a 5th here. They almost beat Karch.
They did.
They had
Oh,
Karch.
Still one of the greatest matches
It is.
ever. Carl Henkel just like
No way.
blacked out, just went
Off.
crazy. Yeah, played so well,
And he lost.
and he lost. But that match was
Wow.
epic.
I mean,
Crazy.
15-13, was it higher than that?
I think it was 16-14, or
16-14.
maybe 17-15.
Old school scoring.
Yeah, old school
Crazy.
scoring, like Atlanta. It was awesome.
And that was the
Which
first.
They took it down off YouTube, so you can't find it anymore.
What?
But yeah,
Can't find it?
yeah, they took it down. The guy who runs Lee's Classics, the YouTube channel, he had all those old school videos up, but the any Olympic content was just like wiped from YouTube because they have it like copyrighted and stuff.
They
So,
could have at
but-
least reposted
But
it.
if you can find the
So you
match,
have to wait till after the Olympics, and then it might be.
yeah,
So right
probably.
after these Olympics,
Yeah.
it'll be back up.
Yeah, but that match was crazy. But
Can I grab another
I
one of
got
these?
you. I got you.
yeah,
All right.
Try's got us. I'll take one too. But that
Hold on,
like
that's empty
like
cans.
Randy and Adam Johnson were just rolling,
Yeah.
and so they were in the semis. It was a double elimination trial where if you got to the winner's semis, all you had to do was win one more. And so hitting one more jump serve, ball boy like rolls a ball back to the end line. Randy lands on the ball, sprains his ankle, and they just get like waxed in the next 2 matches because he like can't. He's not full Randy. And so he's like the only example I need. Like trials are just a bad idea.
And that was the one time that we had trials.
Yeah. And like
That was,
obviously, I mean, we still had 2 teams.
Unfortunately, we've had so many. Yeah, and that too. We did still have gold and silver in
Right.
the Olympics. But yeah, I mean,
Kona
Brew.
Kona Brew. We're back.
I mean, how many games have been played since on like Olympic level, qualifying level, all this stuff? Where like that doesn't happen. Like it was
I know.
such an
Just a
unfortunate
freak thing.
situation.
Yeah. And Randy, like when we had him on the podcast, he still gets like emotional about that. He's like, you know, I'm a CBVA Hall of Famer. I was first guy to make $1 million. I was this, that, and the other, but I am not an Olympian because I fell on a ball in the trials. It's like, oh, just starts to hear.
Could have lost. Anyway.
Could have lost.
It
Because
does.
I mean, he did have to
Could've
beat
lost.
Don Whitmarsh, and he did have to beat Kenton Karch, which is like two best
Above
teams in the
average
world.
players. For sure.
Yeah, that was the winner semis against Donna Whitmarsh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then after that, then he played.
Karch and
Donna Whitmarsh beat Karch and Kent.
crushed him.
crushed him in that one.
Like
yeah.
15-8.
That's pretty good knowledge by you.
It's our guy.
I know.
Ed Keller and Travis.
Me and Ed Keller.
I just somewhat know because I'm old and Mike coached me for a while, so that's kind of why I know a bit of it. But
I love Dodd. It's cool to see Dodd out on the beach so much again.
You go to 21st Street on Monday or Thursday or Saturday or Sunday. You're gonna see Hovland out there, and he hasn't changed. He's running his mouth, letting everybody know that he's there.
Yep.
And then when Mike plays, it's the same old Mike. He's just can't tell he's there. Besides, he's digging every ball,
right?
Passing nails,
witty little one-liners.
Witty one-liners. Hobby Dodd.
Hovland. I heard him drop the funniest line at 21st Street. A guy like dug him and was talking trash to him. He's like, I tell you what, why don't you go to the Manhattan Pier and why don't you shine up my plaques? There's 5 of them.
I'm going to take a wild guess that person's name is Landon. Sorry, Landon. I'll throw that out there. That was my partner in the fucking Solstice tournament. Landon was my hitter.
Yeah.
First 4-man tournament I got to set at.
There's nothing better than setting in 4s.
You know, the Hermosa Beach 4-man.
You weren't allowed to ever, were you?
No, I've always been hitting forever. And I love that. It's a great workout and everything, but I just had coming off shoulder and knee surgery and trying to figure things out. Trying to remember how to play this game.
Yeah. We still got some time. I mean, our quote-unquote season doesn't start till mid-August, so...
Yeah, we got the start of our season in mid-August. Hopefully they'll come out with the second half of the season, mid-September.
Yeah.
And then maybe the final third in the hot winter nights or something.
Sure.
So, AVP, we got some work. Let's get some tourneys out there. The fans need it. They want it. They don't want 3 events. They want to play.
Yeah,
man. You've heard
it's not even just for the players. It's more for the fans. We need tournaments. And not only that, for the sponsors as well. They need a platform to put their stuff out. 3 tournaments, you'll lose everybody.
Well, and
love AVP, love our sponsors,
and
all this stuff.
Next and all this stuff.
Yeah, and people playing grass were just dropping like flies because your body's just not ready, and people are just getting hurt.
I just heard about Katie Spiller yesterday, and then
what happened to Katie?
She hurt her knee pretty bad.
Grass?
Well,
refrigerator.
We're still, hopefully. I don't know if she's gotten the MRI
playing in the AVP grass. The
AVP
AVP grass
shooting. She was in the semis, and Katie's just if you put a volleyball on any surface, she'll play it.
Yeah.
And she's won a bunch of grass tournaments. She won on dirt in Norseca's, and she's won in snow. So volleyball, she'll play.
Right.
And so she won't have any hard feelings about playing grass. But yeah, I think your body's just not used to playing on it. It's like if you play pickup basketball, you're probably gonna hurt yourself.
Players that go play should be going to play that just for fun, not because it's there's a little opportunity to make money. And for people to go make money, sure, but not the top pros. They shouldn't be looking down. For example, I'm happy to do it, but it's I'm looking to go play in the AVP next in Atlantic City potentially.
Right.
Because that's all that's there.
Yeah.
That's.
So it's a way for you to compete right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, I only have 3 finishes. The whole Champions Cup didn't count, so I'm still suffering off the broken hand. where we somehow let Trevor get on the pier without me with read 30. Someone let that happen.
Hey, note to everybody out there: don't go punching volleyball poles when you don't pick up a.
It wasn't even a pole. Well, first of all, it was out.
You hit it out,
and I won the match on that point. And I hit it right in the middle of the pads, but the pads need to be padded. It was more like a sheet on the poles, or maybe I just.
Maybe you're just stronger than you thought.
Or weaker.
Every time
my bones are just.
Every time I watch someone in frustration hit the pole, I'm like, don't do that.
Oh, dude, I watched.
Save yourself.
The best was maybe 1 or 2 events later, when I had come back and I was playing good again. Someone from the stands, I did something and I walked by the pole. They're like, "Hey, don't hit the ref stand. Take it easy on the ref stand." It's oh wow, yeah, okay.
You're right.
You're probably right. I'm gonna go ahead and walk all the way around.
And now with the COVID protocols, it's like you're gonna have to walk 3 miles around. Make sure you don't look at anyone.
Oh yeah, exactly. Dude, it's crazy. It's so crazy. But that freaking broken hand, it's like a good test for my ego. The fact that it's still, you know, it's like what would have. I looked at the beach volleyball stats. Did a post today about me and Trevor and our stats, and the 117. The only finish, not 9th or better, was Vienna.
Really?
Which was a forfeit.
That's impressive.
Broken hand.
Yeah.
Let Trevor get on the pier, and I had been in I made 2 finals before I got sick.
Yeah.
And then Trevor wins it without me. And then, you know, Olympics, Rome, they get Jake and Phil and them in Vienna got like a 5th or like top 5.
Yeah.
And then Rome got a 4th.
Jake and Tay got 4th. Yeah.
So like literally right when I am most exposed every time it's been capitalized on. We lose the country quota, boom, top again.
Yeah.
It's like
3rd, 4th, yeah.
all my little mishaps.
Yeah.
And the only reason we were in the country quota playing against Theo and them was because I got messed up during the 5 stars and everyone's points jumped up because they had 5-star points. And we kept playing and we dropped events.
Yeah.
So
brutal.
That's my like mental thing I have to get over in my head.
Yeah.
And I did it celebrating.
Which is the funniest thing. And it wasn't even like a full slap. It was just like
it was a double hand jab.
It was like one of those.
This.
It was like a rock'em sock'em. Like, you know those toys.
You must have went out that hard. I mean, obviously, kind of the wrong spot.
Well, so I heard more recently, like they were talking. Some boxer was talking, and they say, you hit him with these 2 fingers, your pinky and your next one, you break your hand. You hit him with these 2,
you break
your other ones, you break their face, or whatever. And I was like, and so the bars were kind of Xing in the back behind the sheet that I couldn't see what was behind it. I thought it was just pads. And I felt the pole only clipped that last finger.
Yeah.
So all the pressure went straight into that and just snapped it.
No.
So it was like literally the perfect storm. And I was celebrating. It wasn't being like an egotistical douche, like punching a pole because I was pissed.
And it
like,
wasn't even like,
we won,
wasn't like
yeah,
a flamboyant celebration either.
That was
it was just
kind
like
of weird.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Next morning, it's all swollen. We get an X-ray. It was. I mean, the trainer kind of Wayne knew. He kind of knew it was broken, but he didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
We're gonna get X-ray in the morning. Got it set up with a doctor. So I'm assuming I'm playing, and it hurt. I was like, whatever. Let's do this. And then me and Jose go and get the X-ray, and doc just shows me, and it's like, you don't have to tell me it's broken. It's literally like fully snapped in the X-ray. And I was just so bummed. And then I didn't even go to the court. Trevor's warming up, and I'm just in the training room, and they go and tell him. I'm just like, Trevor's, and I know Trevor's like, just tell him to play.
Yeah.
Like, cause he didn't see the X-ray or anything like that. He's like, tell him get out here, and I was like,
yeah.
I don't think
I'll do it all myself. I got it.
I don't think I can play with that. Like, and we're playing Flugen and Ellers, like this giant 7-footer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna block high hand. Like, let him try to hit high hands on me.
I think at that point you just got to play defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I tried
in
passing
Rome, you
balls.
came out with a club,
and it was the vibration. Cause it was like that. You know, it was fully like, so like that didn't feel too good.
No way.
I played in Rome, and then I find out after that Rossi. We played Carambola Rossi. Yeah. And I played left-handed to start. It was 5 stars, so we literally gained points just for getting 25th. That's why I showed up. Yeah. And my baby was due a week later, but I went anyway. Yeah. And then I find out Rossi was really sick that match, and like I could have maybe just played right-handed, like popped it around and like made him run, and maybe could have pulled that out. Yeah. It was rough. Anyway, I was long-winded.
Well, we're all healthy now. How are you feeling? How are you, Ish?
Well,
you're off.
Been
yesterday.
Shoulder surgery, knee surgery?
I had knee surgery 6 weeks ago. Okay. And then I played a couple of these 4-man tournaments. And the last one was an 8th Street drunk draw tournament. Yes, there was a few Konas flying around and some other stuff. And I played and I was hitting in that. But that hitting in 8th Street drunk draw tournaments different than the 21st and
Right.
16th Street tournaments. It's a different level
Yeah.
by far. I think I'm playing on Sunday, 4th of July at 16th, but I'm not hitting. I'm setting. But my knee blew up a little bit, so I just had 125 cc's of fluid drained out of my knee yesterday.
Oh, shit.
So
I don't know much about science, but that seems like a high number.
I don't even know what the cc's is either, but it was a lot. It was 4 plus big.
I feel like I
tubes,
would have known that because
taking it. And,
but you have naturally
well,
most giant
my
quads.
VMOs used to be big. But
They're still giant. Like people tell me I have giant quads, but look at my next year's, smashing.
I don't know. I might still have extra fluid.
Yeah, that's maybe that's what I've been looking at it the whole
cc's.
the whole podcast. I've been looking at it geez.
And then this knee, I had an injection in this knee with a lubricant. Basically, we're gonna put cortisone.
Okay.
But we want to try out the
KY
lubricant
jelly
first and just see how that kind of reacts. So far, it's reacting good. But that was just yesterday. Dr. Brad Thomas, Shoe City Orthopedics, dude, shout out. Great shoulder, knee specialist over here in Manhattan, Hermosa. But yeah, so I'm just figuring out, just trying to come back. Avery's just sitting there just drooling over when am I going to get back? Let's go. I want to play. Avery wants to play every day. I can't really. I want to. But so so all of us all healthy? Not quite. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Working my way there.
On the mend.
I want to be on the mend.
Yeah.
On the mend. If you asked me Sunday and Monday, I would have been trying to get up from this couch and using 90% of my arms.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I can just get up with no arms. So it's.
Jeez.
And that's just in 2 days. That was just the relief.
And you were just setting.
Mainly from this.
Imagine the jump.
No, I hit it the 8th Street one.
Okay.
But it was jumping this much. I can chop the ball around. Standing hit a few times.
Yeah.
But I did play 6 matches to 15. In those.
So you guys must have went pretty far.
Went to the finals.
This guy,
not the Solstice.
Not in Solstice. Okay.
No, this is 8th Street.
him and
Toronto.
Taylor Crabb will play in anything,
Seriously.
anytime, anywhere.
Well, you know what? A big thing of why I fell in love with beach volleyball is this beach community here in Hermosa Beach, and all these 8th Street drunk draw. 16th Street has the 4-man, Labor Day, Memorial Day, Cinco de Mayo. 21st has the Solstice.
Yeah.
27th has the Sea Right.
Calcutta.
The Calcutta is the Labor Day at 16th Street.
Yeah.
It's
just part of the culture down here.
It is.
And you're born and raised here, so that's
and that's
your family.
what I fell in love with beach volleyball for, the purpose of the beach and the people and the hanging and the partying and
Kona
the,
Brew.
And the Kona Brews going out. So it's hard for me to pass those up when there's an opportunity to go back, especially 8th Street, because that's where I was born and raised and played. And I felt good enough to where I didn't have to push it a ton, but I could try it out kind of there, and I figured out that was a little bit more than I can handle right now.
Yeah.
But got a drain. I'm back. I almost feel like the day before that tournament. Actually, I do. I probably feel better than that. So that was good.
That's good. I feel like tournaments like that. I mean, you look at. You're one of the most popular U.S. players of the last 20 years, and now you get Taylor, who's currently arguably the most popular player in the U.S. now, and it's just guys who just play in all these tournaments wherever. It's FUDs, volleyball, absolutely, Solstice, absolutely, Grass Nationals, and South
why
Carolina.
they're the most popular fan favorites is because they're there with the fans and with the people and playing with the people and hanging out and going and having some drinks with the people and just being yourself and enjoying yourself and not just feel like this is only work or a full-time job, because my whole life everybody's like, you have a job? I'm like, well, I play beach volleyball.
Trying not to.
It's that is my work. It's my job, but is it a job? No. That's why I love the life. I love volleyball. I had the best office in the world for a lot of years, and I just hope that can be the same for this next coming generation, not only for the male players but also the female players who I feel are in a better spot right now.
They're going to carry.
They're going to carry us for a little while.
But the women have a way. You'd rather be on the men's side. The women are going to carry the men, but you'd rather be on the men's side because there's
almost opposite
so much competition coming up for the women, whereas the men are just going to kind of float up with whatever they do, you know?
Yeah. And when I was playing, it was more like, it was definitely both. The men and women were both playing. Like the AVP had come together, Leonard and Amato had made it that way. From, there was a WPVA and then an AVP.
Right.
Leonard Amato bought the tour, and he and Holly have been married for years and years. Brought it all together, and it was good. But there was like, this core of like 6 to 8 women's teams that were always within that semifinals, 5th place realm, and then you had some others that were fluctuating in the back. And now the women are so deep, teams are coming out of the qualifier in the last 2 years, taking thirds and whatever with a majority of our best teams, where our men's side is now our top teams are here, and there's a sizable gap. There's a sizable gap of our top 5
like the regular quarterfinals and
so it's
you'd rather be on the men's side if you're a player.
Right now, yes.
And I look at the battle that Delaney has, for example, especially with only 10 teams being straight into main draw for AVP. Like normal draws, I think Delaney would have been fine, like automatic. I'm like 10. You're back in these qualifiers for like a 70 seed. Is like 2 Court 1 college players.
Right,
like,
exactly.
No way.
That's rough.
That's another thing with this 3 tournaments coming out with the AVP that I'm pretty bummed at. It's like Chicago, Atlanta, Manhattan. Chicago, Manhattan, everybody knows. Plenty of rooms, plenty of courts, plenty of talent, plenty of people.
Yeah.
Atlanta, I don't know if it's going to be where we played in 07, 08, and 09. If it is, there's not much room there. I could kind of maybe see it.
Yeah.
But Manhattan and Chicago, no question, should be 24 teams in Chicago at least, maybe 32, and Manhattan should be 32 teams at least, maybe 64 in the main draw. If you're having 3 tournaments for this year, like why cut the people out that are struggling, that feel like they're professional beach volleyball players, and then now you're cutting, for 3 tournaments, and now you're cutting down. Like, shoot, I'm gonna have to ask for a wild card. By the way, can I get a wild card after saying all that? Actually, I might need that. So, if Avery's even gonna play, I gotta see what I'm
here.
at. You don't need to edit it. No, I'm just saying. Hey, if I ask for a wild card, I feel like I deserve one. I'm just saying.
This is Rosie's Wild Card podcast.
You can go check it. Go check
Avery,
the pier.
Avery, I'm working for us. All right, let's go. But no, I have no idea where the points are. Like, I don't know if I have 200 points or 2,000 points. I have never even looked at points.
Probably somewhere in between.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess maybe. I don't know. There's been a COVID year, so where am I?
I don't know either. I don't know either, to be honest. I'm just looking on main draw.
Hey, just if you have any questions, go to Ed. If Ed doesn't have the answer, I would say go to Travis, but nobody does.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's a question for you there, Rosie. So I asked, I think maybe Kim Hildreth when she was on the podcast. So you mentioned 64-team draw for Manhattan.
Absolutely.
So would you rather expand the draw but say only top 32 get paid? Because I feel like we probably can't have the best of both worlds. We either probably need smaller draw with those teams getting paid, or bigger draw where players feel like professionals. You're involved, like you're in the tent with a Rosie, a Phil, a Tri, a Trevor. Like you're seeing that you're in it, but if you don't get top 32, then you don't actually make money.
I qualified for the Manhattan Open in '97.
Yeah.
I was 16 years old, went into the tent with all the players. That was a life changer for me. That was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do, and here we go. 64 teams. There's another place in there where if you lose and then you win, I don't know what that is, 48 maybe. It might be in a 64 bracket. I'm not sure what that place would be, but only Una Dos didn't get paid.
Okay.
and the rest did. I would have took the money at 16. For
One of
collegiate
the
wise
only,
or whatever.
Yeah.
If
One of
I
the
had
only
made
that
money
would
that
ever-
week, I would have accepted it. Absolutely.
Well,
It was the cards I was dealt when I was younger. It was like we could do a whole nother story on that. But
we should do a documentary on that one.
We should.
it was, but for me to get in there and be able to put, at the time you had to have a patch. It wasn't like a
patch, like a pass that you carry.
pass that you carry around. It was a patch that you had to put on your shorts that you like iron on your shorts that time. It was just like something special.
Cool. Yeah.
To like walk into that tent and there's Karch and Mike Dodd and all these guys. So it was like a special weekend for me. And whether
What
that's going to
tournament
happen to
was
these, it's Manhattan Open,
Manhattan
97.
Shoes. Wow.
Yeah, it was the week before I turned 17. It was like probably early,
That's insane.
mid-June, I think. I was 16. Yeah.
Crazy.
So it was something I found out right then and there, like, this is what I want to do. And here I am, however many years later. That's quite a few after that.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
15 years after that, or
Imagine-
25 years, I'm sorry. 25
Imagine if we
years
had a
after
jump meter on you for
Yeah.
how long you've been playing. Oh my God.
Well, I didn't start so my kids started playing like sports this year, right? Like, or not this year, but a couple years ago. And I almost feel like when they started like 4 in soccer, I'm like, is that too? I'm an athlete.
Right.
I love sports. I love run around, but I'm like, is this too early? I almost feel like it can you could play with them for sure with yourselves and like go down to the beach and play,
They should
go
be
to the
playing for
park
fun.
and whatever, playing for fun. But when you get on a team, and it's not like the coaches are yelling at that age or anything like that.
Right.
But there's definitely I feel
Low
like there could be
pressure.
kids that can be like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of lose interest when it's like that young. When I started playing team sports, I think it was 8 or 9 maybe.
Yeah.
And it was all different ones. It was basketball, baseball, soccer. Those 3 came, about 3 to 4 months per season or whatever. It was like those 3 got me through the year every year. And by then it was like my choice. I wanted to do it.
Right.
And it was like, I feel like there's a lot of parent influence now. It's like, all right, we're playing.
It's
We're
crazy.
doing this. There's club. There's this. There's that. And it's all like one sport push, whether it's volleyball or whether it's all these other things. We're like, you gotta put all these sports. You gotta let them play.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, soccer works great for your foot-eye coordination.
Totally.
Basketball, ping pong, play everything.
Yeah.
Ping pong, I don't know how I threw that in there, but you know what I mean.
That works.
Just
Yeah. You're speaking my dad's language. He was like, one of my biggest regrets in life is putting you boys in t-ball. And we were great because we had a great neighborhood.
That's my mom says that too. She's like, I didn't like watching it and you hated playing it. You were bored as hell.
Right?
It's like these kids, you just put them in these rules, and we were really fortunate with our neighborhood because we had all really young kids like my age.
Go in
We
your
would just,
neighborhood and go in the
make
street and
we'd
play, and it's
football
a
in the
lot more
backyard,
fun.
tackle, and have home run
Exactly.
derbies and roller hockey, and we just made up stuff to do. And we ended up around 5th grade, all of us started getting into more organized sports and club sports, which I think is probably a decent age. But now I feel like parents, they look at their 3-year-old as just learning between blue and green. They're like, we're getting you a college scholarship.
Oh my God, yeah. Right.
yeah.
It's
Oh
crazy.
jeez. Oh, well,
But obviously it worked out for you playing multiple sports. And I think Tim Baumgren's a big believer in that too.
how many people have we asked on this show?
Right. They're just play as many sports.
We should pull every clip of every person that says that. It would probably be 25 athletes that
Minimum.
said that.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing
Just
this
'cause
in
we
10
asked them.
years, that's going to lower down. That number is going to lower down.
Probably,
Because
yeah.
they've all,
Yeah.
the newer ones
The
are more one
specialization's
sport.
becoming so much more
Yeah.
popular.
I'm just gonna
We
have
should
my.
do. We should do almost like a whatever kind of game or this, Olympic kind of sport kind of thing where it's you play one game of baseball, one game of basketball, one game of this
Yeah.
with South Bay and
Dude,
this Bay
totally.
and
It'd be so
these
fun.
guys,
I've thought
because they
about
used
that.
to do that back in the day. And
What do you call that? Like a decathlon.
yeah, but we don't need
The
10.
ultimate.
We can do
Who's the
whatever,
best?
Yeah.
5 different sports from
Who's the best
different
athlete?
different
Best all-around athlete. Be awesome. Santa Barbara does that
But even like groups
the
of like,
drive, or
the dink and drive is great.
yeah, it's awesome.
That's
What's the
insane.
dink and
You
drive?
play blind draw fours volleyball, and then you play. Is it a scramble?
That same team plays on Saturday. They play 4-man volleyball, and then on Sunday they play 4-man golf. Saturday night, there's 1 point for the team if everybody's there at midnight.
Oh, that's great.
And that 1 point sometimes comes into play for sure.
Golf?
But it's but that's just golf
two.
and volleyball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Just
if we
two.
did like 5 or
It'd be fun.
more?
So you
Interesting.
could do that with teams or with like
SANDCAST
where
Cup.
people live from,
SANDCAST Cup.
like the OC to like
Right.
Redondo
We'll
to
do
Hermosa
Hawaii.
to Manhattan because
Yeah.
you can't really put all 3 of those together. It might be too big for our little like
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
thing. Or Hawaii
Bring in-
team. Hey, you just want your Hawaii team. For
Finishing
the
event
volleyball.
is on the island.
Huge.
I'll be Hermosa. I just moved to Hermosa.
I know, right?
Let's go.
Are you guys in your spot?
Finally made it. Second night. Last
Really?
night. Yeah. Stoked.
Nice.
Got the
Finally.
ocean view.
Ocean
You
view.
look sick.
It's sick. Yeah.
Where at?
19th Street. We're in the top.
That's not the place that you guys, when I saw you in the alley, that you guys were renting?
No. But right up the street from that.
Okay. Right up the street
Yeah,
from
we
that.
finally got our own spot.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're right there. Stoked.
So now we're all walking distance from.
Yeah, where are you at?
You in Redondo now?
Yeah.
Just so everybody,
Yeah.
just so all the fans know exactly where we all live.
Here's all of our addresses, phone number,
I'm in,
social security while we're at it.
I'm in North Redondo. I was born and raised in North Redondo. I'm there now. I've been in North Redondo 85% of my life. Hermosa a couple years.
Yeah.
Manhattan a couple years. Orange County a few years. But for the most part, North
This
Redondo.
guy's like LA South Bay
Yeah.
OG right now.
You are like king of the South Bay.
Him moving away from LA is going to Orange County for like to live with Ty Loomis for a year or something.
Oh,
3
yeah.
Well, I thought it would be for a year, and it turned out to be 3 years.
If you didn't do all the traveling you've done on the world tour and playing volleyball, your whole life would be like probably west of the 405.
Can we just bring back sangria down at Hermosa Pier? This is before you guys know, but like
No, I was around sangria days.
You?
Yeah.
Did you get? Oh, you got a couple pieces of sangria?
I got some sangria.
That was the best bar in
It's
the
now
South Bay
what,
ever.
American Junkie?
It's American Chunky
Yeah.
now, and that's probably been like got to be pushing 10 years, maybe
Damn.
more.
That makes me an OG a little bit. 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
right?
at SC coming down to the South Bay to play a
Oh.
little bit. All my Miracosta SC guys were bringing us down.
Yeah. I'm still a newbie here. I've been in the South Bay for, 2 years, 3 years. And then
Is that it?
California just 4 or 5.
Where were you?
Baby.
Where were you the
When I
couple
moved,
years before that? Yeah.
when I
right when you
moved,
moved out.
when I moved to California, it was in Costa Mesa
All
for a
right.
couple years, and then I went to Redondo, lived in the garage with Zahn for a year, and that was an experience. And
Yeah.
then moved to Hermosa, like up on 18th and PCH, and
Yeah.
then we took when Stafford moved to San Diego, we filled in for him in January.
Nice.
Dude,
So-
just since he's been here, he's gone through like the full ringer of.
Oh yeah,
Since we started this podcast,
I know.
he's been like he was living in the garage,
Like-
single guy.
Kind of lived at tries for a while.
Yeah, just dipping in, coming over.
I'm here. I'm in
Messy
the garage.
situation.
Now
You guys
I'm
got a
over here.
dog.
Now I'm married.
Then he's
And
married.
I'm getting a house over here.
Now he's fully dialed
dogs?
in.
Yeah.
Now
I-
he's
I-
now
I
he's
had a
going
dog
for the
a
world
while.
tour.
Yeah.
Now he's
I'm
trying to
just
be
traveling around.
full-time world tour guy, which is great.
Hey,
We're double dipping on SANDCAST on the world
Anything
tour.
to play, and that's where you got to go to play right
you
now.
were just the writer guy
So-
though.
I know.
Like we would have been joking about you
I know.
going on the world tour
I know.
before.
And now me and Adam in Belgium, we're like the 4 seed in the main draw.
Happens
Like,
quick. This
Yeah.
guy's about to
Where
collect
at?
stipend
Belgium?
pretty soon.
In Belgium. Yeah.
is that coming up or?
Coming up. So we leave Tuesday, and then we won't be back till way late. We leave Tuesday for Wapaka. Have you ever played Wapaka?
I'm not. There's a lot of those
Fun.
fun tournaments that at this point in my career where
Yeah.
it's a
No.
hobby again, which
It's time.
I'm going to play a lot of these tournaments.
Yeah.
Pottstown Rumble, I'll go out and party, but I'm not going to play grass.
What about libero? Can you be a libero?
What's
Back
Well, it's
twos?
only 3.
Twos.
Oh, brutal.
Well, they have 3s for the.
They added threes for the first time this year.
Oh, got it.
Really?
The out of system guys won.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What is the 3s one? What's like the main event in the 3s? Is that Wapaka?
That's Wapaka, yeah.
So
Wapaka
Wapaka's-
3s, that's fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's on the sand.
It's
Right?
it's 2 days of sand. So it's this year.
They have all the
Thursday,
opens
Friday
and-
sand, Saturday's grass, and then so we're going to Wapaka.
What is the main event?
Grass, for sure.
3-man grass.
Yeah,
Yes. All right. So that's what I was
like
thinking.
courts as far as you can see,
Yeah.
and it's just like field
No
in
way.
Wisconsin. It's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
These
awesome.
tournaments, like I've heard about all these tournaments for years, and they're always throughout the season. Back when we had 17 tournaments plus the
Right.
international tournaments
Yeah.
and all the stuff, and you don't want to like go there extra times and get hurt or whatever. But like I always heard about, I want to play them. I still haven't played Seaside. I want to play Seaside and get up there.
Which
And
Seaside?
this year it's the
during
same
Atlanta.
event as Atlanta.
Isn't it run by AVP now? I thought.
Yeah.
And they doubled it up,
They doubled.
and then they put it over our King of the Court events. So we had opportunity to play King of the Court, 2 events, and they're both scheduled over basically. And then they're gonna put on a 3rd King of the Court.
Which is over what?
No, it's not over anything,
You
but
sure?
you have to earn your spot in that one and play in the first 2 to get a spot in the 3rd one. So that's 3 more opportunities
Yeah.
to play.
Yeah. So, but AVP had
Brilliant.
Seaside on the same weekend as Atlanta.
But they had known that for a while. When I was out in Fuds, the promoter of the Seaside event,
Yeah.
I forget his name.
Mike
I might know his
Griffin.
name. Mike Griffin. We were talking a little bit, and he had already knew that the AVP was going to have a tournament on that weekend.
Really?
So I don't know if they were talking already or whatever, but
Yeah.
he was telling me then during Fuds, the spring Fuds. So I don't remember the weekend, but
It was April.
7 weeks ago, 8 weeks
Yeah.
ago, maybe more.
Yeah.
Whatever. He already knew that the AVP had something on his weekend.
I'm gonna move this.
What is that?
I'm just moving it down.
Just sliding your mic a little closer.
Sorry.
There
Can't
you go.
just turn that volume up over there?
No, it, was,
Am I starting to mumble?
it wasn't volume because your
Hey, these
shoulders
Konas
up.
are kicking in.
I saw the
Ah.
I saw the shirt touching the
Oh,
mic.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
The Konas
can't-
are kicking in. I'm
I
mumbling
can't tell
a
if our
little bit.
fans can hear it, but just in case.
We'll see.
It's only been an hour and 10 minutes, people. So
It's been a great conversation,
really,
but
Are we podcasting that? I thought we were still on the boat.
he's had that many. He's had that much liquid aloha today.
let's do the Gold Cliff.
I mean, it is Hump Day.
Yeah,
Jeez, we're halfway
Wednesday.
through the week, people. What do you expect?
it's pre-July 4th celebration.
Yeah, and I'm gonna miss it again for the 10th time in a row.
Yeah. You'll be
Well,
in
let's
stock.
see. We're
No,
already.
last year I got it. It was a great social celebration. Literally can't remember what happened.
We're
last year.
June 30th. I mean, we're supposed to be like 5 tournaments into the AVP season, plus some internationals.
Yeah.
Happy
Getting ready
birthday,
for
by
the
the way.
Olympics.
I didn't hit you up on
I
your
did
birthday.
when I did
When was your birthday?
Day before
June
mine.
19th.
Oh shoot.
It's
Happy
June
birthday.
20th,
Yeah.
and
Gabby's 18.
Gabby's. Oh, I was gonna say 21st, 18th. That's right.
And,
She's right
and
before me.
April.
It was the
20th.
17th. April's.
No, April's 20th. Same as
Oh, okay. Rachel Wacholder before was the
17th?
17th.
me.
Before
Jesus.
Jenny Kropp, I think it was the 17th.
Packed house.
Yeah, we're all right in that side. June babies, summer babies,
Makes sense. You're playing beach.
right?
Right, exactly. We're built for
Exactly.
this.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean we have like Wapaka, which I highly recommend when you do get a chance to play. Highly recommend it. And then I go from there to Belgium. In Belgium to this Atlantic City event. It's $100,000 AVP Next, which at some point
What do you get for winning it?
for the AVP Next,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if they've given a
It's
breakdown.
100,000 total, so that's 50 per
50
gender.
each,
10 to
We're gonna
1?
call that probably
10 to 12,
yeah, that
It's
makes
pretty-
sense.
which is, I mean, pretty good.
You win
for
that,
a pretty down year.
Well, there's
you
some
get
good
the same
teams going.
amount as
Oh, yeah.
getting like a 4th place or
Yeah,
something. On,
Yeah, I mean,
in
and
that's-
there's gonna be some
an
good teams
Olympic
going.
qualifying 4-star
Yeah,
for AVP.
What
Next.
month is that?
That's insane.
that's end of July. So it's the weekend before 6 men.
Okay,
Um,
and
so
that's
hopefully-
still during the Olympics. Or
That
no?
is the weekend. So the Olympics, the first ball is served the 24th. AC is the
Oh, really? That
21st,
late?
24th. Yeah.
Interesting.
I
So-
thought I was gonna have to go to Ed for that answer, but we
Right.
could go to.
I'm
We
Ed
got
Junior.
We
We
got
got,
another
we
guy.
got a number 2.
I talk a little slower than Ed.
So
I've known Ed for a long time, so I hear all these stats all the time. It's good for a little refresher.
got
right
another
now. We got another one.
how long is the tournament the actual volleyball tournament for the Olympics?
It's close to 2 weeks, probably a week and a half process, because you play a day, you're off a day, play a day, off a day, and then
we talked a little bit to.
I don't know if they're probably doing now, which they weren't before, modified pool play. Do you know that?
I do not know.
I do not know that either. That's actually that's actually a good question for the Olympics.
I would doubt that they would. I mean, I think
Ed Keller, can you pop on here and let us know the answer?
Just have him pop up in the corner of the screen.
Because I don't know.
like
I don't know.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
It's before it was 4-team played out for points and whatever. You play all three. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing modified or not. So
I would. My guess would be no.
And my guess would be yeah.
Really?
So
okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't have a guess. So.
I mean, a lot of times you're the same country as not. I think I like that modified pool for the fact that there's no way for anybody to be able to give points, or you can't help anybody else. You can't throw a match. You can't. And before, I'm a fan of double elimination. I think you play double elimination tournament, you're going to get the best two teams in the finals a majority of the time.
Right.
When you're playing pool play, you can have these pools, you can have some upsets, you can have whatever, and this side of the pool's got 1 through, 8 of the top 10, and this side's got 2 of the top 10.
Yeah.
And it's just a little bit what it is, how it comes out.
Right.
A lot of it's blind draw, a lot of it is because they don't go all by points on the FIVB. At least
they literally just pull names out of a hat sometimes.
It's like this pool's A, F, and E. Here we go. This team is Switzerland. This team is U.S.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. You win this pool, you stay here. You win it. Like
that's one thing that I'll give the AVP credit for is that people gave them a lot of flack for running modified pool for the AVP next, and so for Atlantic City, they're like, all right, like you asked, we're giving you a double elim. Because it's double elim, we need to limit the number of teams. So there's actually a qualifier for an AVP next. For Atlantic City, so they can run a double elimination. And so I think I'm a fan of double elim. I think every tournament should just be 32-team double elim, run it over 3 days, and
absolutely
cruise.
Dude, we were playing.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Majority of my career when we were doing well with Jake and my days with Larry and whatever, like we were 32-team tournaments, 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, and if you lose first or second round, and you come back to the finals, which happened to me a lot of times. Yeah. It's 9 matches in 2 days. And it's a
test.
That's a test that people nowadays can't do. Like even these girls and young guys and whatever that are coming out of college and these young guys, that's no joke, man. That's hard. Like I know I can't do it. I'm not even gonna second guess it. Like Try's in great shape. But it'll be hard for him to play 9 matches in 2 days right now and perform in that final, in that 9th match. Yeah. Like that's the one that's on TV and that's the one that's whatever. Like, Jake and I lost many times in the second round and came back to the finals, and it's no joke.
Yeah.
So
I loved it. The old school guys were all like play 20 matches in a day.
Yeah. You guys are a bunch of wimps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How high were you jumping in the last one?
Yeah.
How many beers did you drink?
A couple more Konas.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
We're about running out of batteries here.
And we've had you for a while. This has been great, Rosie.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming over.
Were we on a podcast? I thought we were just hanging out on a boat.
We're just chatting with the boys on the boat.
We should just throw the mic on anytime.
I know. That was awesome.
It's just a boat that doesn't rock us quite as much.
All right.
Well, it's been fun.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Thank
Rosie.
you guys.
Thanks for coming.
Shoots, boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shoots. Wow, Rosie's the first guest to say shoots before us.
Yeah.
He said it first.
You said it first? Oh, that's my bad. Kona's been working. Okay, later.